Coach, I want to ask about the second play of the second half, that 2nd-and-1 play. Kind of what the thought process was behind it, why it didn't work, how it might have worked in a different context than the one that came later.
The one we got the sack on?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was kind of a trick play. I mean, you guys kind of tried to design it to get them off guard. It felt like you did, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, you described it pretty good. We thought it was a trick play that didn't work. It was one of those things where, the DB was kind of looking at the sidelines, and then we snapped the ball really quick to try to take advantage of that, because there's some times where we'll look to the sidelines as an offense and we'll change the play, or sometimes we'll look to the sidelines of an offense and not change the play. And so when we look, they look, and they change, and snapped it. The receiver kind of got tangled up. And then the other thing, too, we still probably had a chance, but then there was a protection bust. We got beat up front on a protection bust, and so we took a sack, which hurt us. Yeah, but we actually had planned that situation. If we get a 2nd-and-1, we thought it was a safe shot. And at the end of the day, even if the corner does react, it's still a 1-on-1 safe shot with press coverage on 2nd-and-1. That was kind of the mindset. And then, worst case scenario, you're thinking 3rd-and-1, but then the sack happened. Because of protection, and put us in a bad spot.
Hey, Solare's production's tailed off a little bit, 5 catches for 75 yards in the last 3 games. Is he getting more focus from defenses?
It could be. I don't know if it's that. I think it's more of just, kind of the progressions, and sometimes the progression or the pass route called, like he might be part of the progression, but it didn't get to him. Or he was the first part, maybe he was covered, and so we had to move on, and they doubled him. So it's, we still have a lot of confidence in him. We like getting him the ball. He's doing some really good things, but nothing. Yeah, that's just kind of we got to get him the ball more.
On the play that right before half, where it looked like it was there, did you get feedback from Samari if you lost it in the shadows, or what was your vantage point, and what did the players tell you?
Yeah, that was a tough one on the long pass that he was open. He was the first one to say that he could have made the catch. I think it was a little bit of the sun, and he kind of lost it a second, but he could have laid out, But I think he did. He said he lost it for a second, and then the biggest thing too, though, is we got to hit. We got to get. And Adrian would be the first guy to say this too. We got to give him a catchable ball. When you have a guy beat by 3 yards, we got to give him a more catchable ball. So it was a combination. But Samari should make that catch. And we got to give it a little bit of ball.
Do you feel like that one could have been more catchable?
That one could have been what?
That pass could have been more catchable. Do you feel that way?
Oh yeah, it could have been a little more catchable, And I also think it was catchable to some part. But the same thing when you got a guy, I think it was 3 yards of separation, give or take a yard. It's pretty. The whole stadium saw he was pretty open. Those are the ones you just want to complete. And we got to complete those. Could he have made the catch? Yeah, and he'll say that too. And so it's kind of you're not blaming anybody. It's just like, hey, we got to complete that. We got to make it a little bit better, give him a little better chance, and at the end of the day, we got to make the catch.
Hey Matt, what have you seen from Logan Smothers and just his development since you got here and to now? And I guess throughout your whole career, what goes into the decision-making process of making a change at quarterback?
Yeah. Well, first off, question about Logan, I just see, just with maturity, I see a consistency and experience and confidence all coming together with him. Just because he's, it's year 2 in a program. He's got some vital game reps. So he just keeps improving. He keeps improving. When you talk about changing the quarterback, we got a lot of confidence in Adrian Martinez, and it's an unfortunate thing, when you're losing the quarterback, it takes a lot of blame, and that's football, but it's really unfair because it's him, it's everybody. It's first we look at ourselves as coaches, okay, and then it's every position, and making sure that he has the guys around him doing the right things and putting him in the best position so he can be successful. He's made a lot of plays this year to help us move the football, and he's made some mistakes too, just like everybody else. But that's kind of I get it's the nature of the position, and he handles it like a champ. But but Adrian Martinez is our quarterback, and that's what we're going with.
Besides Adrian's, vast experience advantage over the rest of the guys, what are some other areas maybe where there's still separation there between those QBs, between him and the
Well, the experience is the obvious, but it's a huge thing. The game reps, just throwing things a little more on time than the other guys, because that's experience and reps, being a little more confident where to go with the ball. And then we've seen him make a lot of plays with his feet. Sometimes it's hard to evaluate the other guys just because they haven't had some of the opportunities. But on the stuff that we have had, that's kind of what it is. It goes down to experience, making your throws on times, making good decisions, operating the offense, and then at the same time being able to make a play with the football.
Did you come out of the bye thinking Omar and Xavier in particular did they kind of arrive at that place going into this last game where they're close to being about what you want?
Yeah, they're getting better and better. The biggest thing, with both those guys, this is really Omar's first year because we didn't have him last year. It's Xavier's second year, and so I knew they were going to get better, and they've had some injury issues. Well, the bye, they had 2 weeks of really good practice. They were both healthy, and so they played a lot more in this game, and so they're going to continue to improve. I think just the extra practices, and the big thing was the fact they were both healthy, that we could get them out there more.
Hey, Ohio State will at times play press coverage and has done that a lot. They trust it.
Sure.
They seem to have pulled back a little bit from that in most recent games. What are you seeing on film about their coverage, and what maybe they changed since their defensive coordinator was promoted?
Yeah, I think first of all, obviously they're very good. They got a lot of returners up front. They're very stout up front. They create a lot of negative plays. I know they're leading the country in actually scoring points. They scored 6 points on defense, or 6 touchdowns on defense alone. So they can create negative plays, and we got to be aware of that. As far as their coverages, there hasn't been like a full-sale change or anything different. Maybe a little less man, but they still have the ability to play man, and they do a good job of it. They mix probably a little more mixing of zone coverages and variations off that. But other than that, I think schematically, they're not a ton different than they were when they switched. They're playing together. They're playing. They're playing with an edge. So obviously it's going to be a big challenge, and they're really good. They're well coached and they're really good, and it's going to be a big challenge for us.